Hello. I'll tell you about the algorithm for playing chess in C#. The game starts with an empty 3x3 board, represented as a 2D array of characters. The player and the AI take turns making moves on the board, with the player making the move first. The player's turn is determined by console input, while the AI's turn is determined by the minimax algorithm. The minimax algorithm starts by checking whether the current game state is a win or a draw for one of the players. If so, it returns 1 point in case of an X win, -1 in case of an O win, and 0 in case of a tie. If the game is not over, the algorithm generates all possible moves and recursively calls itself on each move, alternating between the two players. The algorithm then evaluates the score for each possible game state and selects the move that gives the highest score for X and the lowest score for O. The AI_move method uses the minimax method to determine the best move and makes a move on the board. The game continues until either a win or a tie is found, at which point the game ends and a message is printed to the console. The game checks for a win or a tie after each move by calling the isWin and isGameOver methods, which check all rows, columns, and diagonals for a win and check if the board is full for a draw. This is the general idea of the game and the algorithm. The main method contains the main game loop. This is the entry point to the program. The main loop continues until the game ends. The state of the game is printed to the console. And then the player move and AI_move methods are called to update the game state. The player move method is used to get information from the player for their move and make a move on the board. It also checks if the move is valid and calls itself if it is not. The printBoard method is used to print the current state of the board to the console. The game uses a random number generator to make random moves for the AI. The random number generator is called RND. The variable current player is used to keep track of what the current player's turn is. It is used to define the player character to use when making moves. The player's array is an array of characters representing the players in the game. The first element is X, and the second element is O. The scores array is used to store the scores calculated by the minimax algorithm. The board is a two-dimensional array of characters that represents the playing field, initialized with empty spaces and updated during the game. I will also explain the minimax algorithm in more detail. The minimax algorithm is a recursive algorithm that is used to evaluate all possible game states and determine the best move for the AI. It uses the score of the current state of the game to determine the best move. The algorithm starts by checking whether the current game state is a win or a draw for one of the players. If so, it returns 1 point in case of an X win, -1 in case of an O win, and 0 in case of a tie. If the game is not over, the algorithm generates all possible moves and recursively calls itself on each move, alternating between the two players. The algorithm then evaluates the score for each possible game state and selects the move that gives the highest score for X and the lowest score for O. The minimax algorithm is implemented in the minimax method, which takes two parameters, depth and player. The depth parameter is used to limit the number of recursive calls, and the player parameter is used to determine the player's turn. The method starts by checking if the depth is 0 or if it's game over. If so, it calls the score method to get the current game state score and returns it. If the depth is not 0 and the game is not over, the method generates all possible moves and recursively calls itself on each move, alternating between two players. The method then evaluates the score for each possible game state and selects the move that gives the highest score for X and the lowest score for O. Please let me know if you need more information about any specific part of the game. You can adjust the depth of the AI by changing the value passed as a parameter to the minimax method. The depth parameter determines how many levels the AI will look ahead when evaluating possible game states. The higher the depth, the better the AI will play. The maximum number of levels that can be set in the minimax algorithm depends on the size of the playing field and the number of possible moves at each level. A more realistic value would be around 3 to 6, depending on the desired performance and the time required to complete the move. That's all. Thank you all for your attention. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell to skip the next lesson, like and write a comment under the video. This will help the development of the channel. Good luck with your studies, babe.